Hey everyone, this is the last videos I promised on my CPA exam experience, and I'm going to talk about REG. So I took regulations last, and I have a month between my BEC exam and my REG exam, and I also took that 1 week off. So that leaves me about a little bit over 3 weeks, so 22 days, 23 days to study for my REG. A lot of people think it's crazy that I cram so many things at once in such a short period of window, but you'd be surprised how productive you can be if you really commit to it. I had to take 5 courses in my grad school while I am taking all those CPA exams and review for them. It was a nightmare, but eventually I pulled it through. It was so mentally challenged, but still I would recommend people to do that my way, because yes, it's a very struggle for 5 months or half of a year, but potentially you're saving yourself a year and a half, because 18 months is the expiration date for your score. But that's the potential time you're saving yourself if you pass off them the first try. And you don't have to worry about the exam anymore, and you will put that behind you and you move on with your life. So that's the approach I took. I know that was a short road, it was really painful, but as there's a Chinese saying, short pain is better than long pain. So my REG experience, I went in, I take all my exams in the morning at 7 o'clock, because ever since I know that you can take your exam early, I always schedule the 8 o'clock one. So I always call the day before. I ask, can I come in at 7 tomorrow? I really just want to get the exam started early. And all of them are really friendly, and they say yeah. So I took all my exams at 7 o'clock. Unlike the previous 3, I actually felt the most confident on REG. My background is in taxation in my grad school, so maybe that helps a little bit as well. So I studied for 23 days, and during my exams, I was able to see all the information that I learned from my Becker review course, and I'm really not advertising for them. I'm just saying it because that's the only review material I used, and that's the only one that I'm familiar with. So during the first testlet, it went well. There's nothing that I've never seen before. I didn't flag anything and flew through all the questions. And on the top of that, I want to add that whenever you're doing your practice questions with your own study review material, try to read as fast as you can and try to answer questions as fast as you can. The reason why I say that is because time is really the essence of any exams that you take. It doesn't matter, CPA exam or other exam, you have to do them fast. So to do that, you have to read them fast. As someone whose first language is not English, if I can read them fast, so could you. And I believe in you, having no problem reading it fast as long as you just keep practicing them. So I think that I finished my first testlet in about maybe 20 minutes, I would say, 25 minutes at most. So unsurprisingly, like the previous 3, my second testlet got easier again. I don't know what's wrong with my first testlet. Maybe, I don't know, I just feel like they got easier. So after the first 2 testlet, I finished it in 45 minutes at most. And REG is the only section that I have left that have an hour and 15, an hour and 20 minutes left in the end of the exam. So I felt really good leaving the exam, but at the same time, I felt like, what if I just did really bad on the exam? And I chose all the answers so quickly because I didn't read through them, but luckily my exam result shows that I did do them right. So back to the exam experience. So after I hit my 3rd testlet, I finished it, and the worst thing that could happen to any CPA test taker happened on me. And I even Googled that before I went in to take all my exams. I Googled, what is the chance of technical failure? And somebody says less than 1%. And yeah, I was unlucky that 1%. The computer failed on me. It just shuts down the middle of something. And to be exact, I opened an Excel function. I've never ever opened that function in any of my other exam. I just tried it just to make my calculations easier on one of my simulation problem, and it crashed and the whole computer just went black. And I was like, oh my goodness, do I have to take it all over again? I don't want to take this again. So I asked the staff to help. They said that Prometric Center upload and save all your questions systematically every couple seconds, so my answer should be saved. So luckily she rebooted the computers and I was able to get back to the exact page that I was left off. But the only dumb thing I did do was I did not go back and check if all my answers weren't changed from one of the questions from that testlet. I kind of just looked at that testlet and I saw all my answers were there, and I moved on. I didn't check if the computer messed up with the answer. I didn't check if somehow there's another decimal coming out of nowhere because of the somehow the encryption or anything. I did not check any of that. That was dumb on my part. So I went through all the simulations problems. I really did not see any questions that I've never seen before. And I still use the same type of method that I used before. Went through the review material twice and did all the mock exams, and I was able to finish with an hour and 15 minutes left. So after the exam, I walked out feeling pretty confident. I think I passed the exam, and then it's the very anxious waiting for score release, as everyone is aware of. It's just really nerve-wracking because you're basically counting the minute, the seconds before your score release. And I went on so many forums to see if there's any unofficial way of pulling out your score report. And I did learn one thing that some of you could do is if you take 2 tests or 3 or even 4 in the same testing window, as long as you took one, if you go on NASBGateway.org, I think that's the website that they use. You go in, there's a little icon right next to your score. After you click that, you're supposed to pull up your score report. But if you're waiting on a score, say you are waiting on FAR and you already took audit like I did, and you should be able to see a couple hours ahead of the score release time to see if you got no credit or credited. Because that's how I was able to pull out my 2 of my score before it's actually released to me. I think that it says credited if you passed and no credit if you failed. And it worked for me. I was able to see my BEC credit or not credit before the actual score is released. So that worked pretty well for me. So if any of you have the similar situations as I was, you can go ahead and try that. So that's it for all 4 of my exam experiences, and I hope that my experience could help you guys in your journey, and I hope you all the best. Thank you for listening for all those videos, and if you have any comment, please leave a comment below and I'll be sure to get back to you. Thank you.